name is David Rowland. I'm the brewer and owner of SoMe Brewing Company in York, Maine, and we're standing in our tasting room. So SoMe is credited to my wife. When we were thinking up names, clearly we're in southern Maine, but we didn't want to be Southern Maine Brewing Company because, well, it doesn't have much ring to it. It seems pretty basic, but she started discussing, hey, well, maybe we can shorten it or tweak it. And then she said, what if we just called it SoMe Brewing Company? And I was like, oh, I like that because it's got a little bit of a Abbott and Costello who's on first kind of edge to it. Like, where'd you get that beer? I got it at SoMe Brewing Company. Oh, really? What are they called? They're, oh, it's called SoMe Brewing Company. And, a little bit of a kind of a joke behind it, but it's absolutely a play on southern Maine as well. And some people say SoMe, which is what some people call this area as well. And, technically we're SoMe Brewing Company LLC, but call it whatever you want, just drink my beer. I've been brewing for probably about 10 years. My father got into brewing back when home brewing really started to become an actual thing back in the early 90s maybe. And after college, I went to college in Pennsylvania, and I was privy to drinking a lot of at that time new good craft beer like Victory and Trogs. So I sort of cut my teeth on that stuff, and with my father being a craft beer drinker as well, I sort of was, I had that taste. And when I came home from college and I found his old kit and said, hey, can I break this back out? And we started brewing, and I just got hooked. And then I read as much as possible and brewed as much as possible and talked to as many brewers as possible, and it just became an obsession, a healthy obsession. And eventually, my father and I always talked about opening a brewery and how cool it would be, and he got back into brewing because of me, and it became a sort of a pastime for the two of us. And an unfortunate opportunity presented itself where I had lost my teaching job due to budget cuts, and I was sort of bouncing around trying to find out what I want to do with my life if I couldn't be a teacher. And the right things presented themselves, and I was able to sell my house and move here to York, and I was able to find this space and was able to get financing and realistically make this a reality. That's good. I was able to make this a reality through the right amount of things happening at the right moments, and it's still surreal looking back at, but here we are, and we just did our 5th weekend open, and we're running low on beer, which is a good problem to have. Yeah. But, luckily we're close to New Hampshire, which actually does have quite a concentration of breweries, but people still want to come up and try new stuff, and the locals here have been just awesome. I've had people just constantly shake my hand and say, thank you for doing this. We wanted something like this here for so long. And yeah, we're already looking at buying bigger equipment and more tanks and brewing on them, more each week. And, it's a good problem to have. We're constantly bringing out new beers. At least that's what our vision is. We're figuring out what our staples will be. We're new, so we have a good idea that Whoopie Pie and Crystal Persuasion will be on year round. But I think part of the idea with having at a minimum 6 taps is being able to constantly rotate beers in and out. And we're new, so every beer we make is new to somebody. And I think, like I said, I'm really going to push to do a lot of fun hoppy beers, but I have a soft spot for traditional styles as well. We have a really nice Belgian triple that just sort of, it's a bit of an investment because you got to age them and whatnot, but I'm looking forward to bringing out the Belgian triple. Like I said, Pilsners, I want to do, as soon as we get our new fermenters up and running, I want to do a Pilsner. And then I have aspirations to do an Imperial version of that Pilsner, because you don't see a lot of them, and who doesn't like Imperial beers? Yeah. For us, the focus now is to really develop a production schedule, get some bigger equipment, and just hit the ground running. We've got a good start, and we just need to keep that momentum going and see where it takes us.